What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing another episode of the series where I rate your squads. If you guys do want me to rate your squads, follow me on Twitter on DBGYT_, and every now and again I'll just tweet out saying send teams. Ideally, I'm more likely to rate your squad if you've got high quality picture, and also if you explain your playstyle, how much MT you are working with, and how much obviously you would like to spend. And yeah, so we missed out on this last week. A lot of people think I missed out on it 2 weeks in a row. I can't even remember why I missed out last week on this, honestly. But yeah, so we are going over this right now. It's a little bit late because Thursdays the last couple of weeks have been just been a little bit awkward because I've been waking up very, very early to go to work, and then I've been getting home at I'm getting home quite early, like 3 p.m, kind of finishing work, and then I'm just, after waking up at 8 a.m, after going to bed at 4 a.m. the previous night, I'm just exhausted, so I end up taking a nap and only starting work at like 9 p.m. So the reason why it's midnight and it's only video number 3 for the day, when normally if I was in this time, I'm gonna be finishing up work for the day rather than just kind of prepping to just go into normal work. But anyway, that is a very, very long intro explaining why this video is out a little bit late. Now, let's get on to it. So, current gen. Run through Clay and Giannis. Yusuf Bones is a big body and a popper. AK guard balls, guards ball, Penny guard small forward. Occasionally spins on small guards. Love to see it. Love to see the post spin meta. Willing to sell pretty much anyone but Clay. Why would you sell anybody? This might be the best team in the game. I'm not even kidding. Obviously, sorry, D-Rob is D-Rob, but you've got a top 3 2-guard in Harden. Maybe T-Mac is better. You got a top 3 2-guard in Harden. You've got 2 top 5 point guards with easily top 5 point guards. Maybe post burst things have changed, but again, you can post spin with Penny. Clay is the best player in the game. Arvidas Sabonis is a huge body, one of the cheesiest players in the game. Dolph Shea's probably a top 2 power forward in the game. Your team's like a 9.7 out of 10. I think you know that. There's no point selling anybody. Okay, so a lot of MTDB squads here, or 2KDB. Sorry, Jesus, MTDB was a disaster recite. But nobody spent have around 200k, but willing to sell stuff, so probably have 350k. I don't know what that stuff is, so you got about 350k. Run Hawks 2018, like to drive and kick for 3. Already pretty alright with your team. Open to suggestions. Francis also has clamps on silver. Oh, that is interesting. Hey, so you got like 350k. The only player that would make the team better is D-Rob, but I don't think D-Rob is enough better than George Mikan to go and get D-Rob. Your point guards, you got 2 of basically the same point guard in Francis and Ja. They're very, very similar. I think Francis is slightly better in some ways. Ja is slightly better in other ways. You've got Mikal Bridges, who's really, really good. And Nick Batum. Those 2 guys are really good at the 3 and 4. Melo and AK, again, a really good combo. Tracy McGrady. I would sell T-Mac and buy Clay, honestly. That's kind of the only thing I would say is a problem. And also, that team is not possible because you've got 2 Tracy McGrady's in there. With that goal at the end of the bench, I would probably sell T-Mac by Clay, but that's the only change I'd make. I think Clay is cheaper as well. Okay, current gen, no money spent. Run Hawks 2018 5 out. Don't often play online because you don't like us out of college. Don't want to spend much. Want to stay as cheap as possible. Perfect. So, you got that Drazen, who's going to be a god for clutch time because he shoots from anywhere. As well as that, you've got good old Wong at center. An absolute, Big Wong is a demon. He is an absolute demon. Then Jonathan Isaac, fantastic. Matisse Thybulle, Eddie Jones, DeJounte is good. You don't really have anyone to create on your starters. You've got great defense. This really is, as Splash would call it, plug and play. You're gonna just get a bunch of stops. You're probably like Wong going by other centers with his quick first step and pulling back into easy quick 3-pointers is a legitimate tactic to use. Rocco, I like Rocco. If you like Wong, you're gonna like my friends because they're basically the same card, except Wong's just slightly better. Sadiq Bey is really good. Drazen's really good. Marcus Smart's really good. I mean, for a budget team, this is like a solid, like, 8 out of 10. This is like a solid 8 out of 10. I say for a budget team, it's like a 9, but overall, it's a solid 8 out of 10. A more than usable team, but there's no point. If you're playing offline, that team would be fine at this stage of the game. There's no HOF challenges as far as I'm aware. As far as I am aware, anyway, there are no HOF challenges. Okay, so let me see any interesting squads here. Okay, this is an interesting one at this stage of the year. So nobody spent 20k and you run the Warriors playbook. I don't know what the Warriors playbook is. I'm just going to say that right now. But like, I don't see there any point. There's a lot of like unnecessary MT tied up. There's no OO on that Donovan Mitchell, which means he's just normal Donovan Mitchell. Okay, this team actually does need a little bit of work because Kawhi Leonard, a power forward, he's too short, and his player models, he's very good at small forward, he's too short for power forward. You've only got 13 KMT. So first player I would sell is Miles Turner. Whatever Miles Turner goes for, replacing him with Wong, like Wong's better than, or is pretty much same as Miles Turner. You're saving probably 30, 40 KMT, whatever he is. Isaiah Thomas is not as good as Marcus Smart. Sell Isaiah Thomas, buy Marcus Smart. You've got 15k extra there, plus about like 45k for selling Miles Turner. And then with that, you're suddenly sitting on close to 70,000 MT. Jaylen Brown, I like Jaylen Brown. I keep Jaylen. Your bench. Jet Terry's fine, but he can't play beside Donovan Mitchell. It's not enough height. Honestly, just get someone to guard ball beside Jet Terry. Just get him Matisse Thybulle. Again, sell Donovan Mitchell, get Matisse Thybulle. You've gained even more MT. And then move Kawhi down to the 3 and put Jonathan Isaac to the 4. Or if you just want to put Bingo Smith to the 2. I think Thybulle's better than Bingo. And also those 3 dimes at the end of your bench are costing you literally like 400 MT per game. That is not a... what's it? It's 1,500 for 5... 300 MT per game, sorry. The 3 of those guys. They are costing you 300 MT per game, which is kind of pointless. So, I just replaced them with 3 golds, who individually are costing you like 30 MT per game. Or if you're not individually, like the 3 of them combined are going to cost you like 30 MT instead of 300 MT. So, yeah, I would move Kawhi down to the 3. I would get rid of Caron Butler. I get it, he's a pink diamond, and you don't have any other ones except for Batum. I mean, there's no point getting rid of Batum at this stage. Get rid of Miles Turner, and if you want to spend a little bit more MT, you can get George Mikan, who's better. If you want to spend all your MT, get rid of Isaiah Thomas, get Marcus Smart. Then get rid of Donovan Mitchell, get Matisse Thybulle. Buy Jonathan Isaac, put him at the 4, move Kawhi Leonard down, sell DeAndre and Miles Turner, and buy Wang Zhiji and buy George Mikan, who I think you should be able to afford. And then you're looking at a really, really good team. You're looking at a really good team with that, with the same amount of MT. But this team right here, it's not a bad team, but it's like a 6.5 out of 10 at this stage. Okay, nobody spent right now, have 600k. Steve Harden, Morant, and Eddie are all... Eddie's a primary baller, it's interesting. I mean, if you know how to use Slasher, you know how to use Slasher. But your forwards are 3 and D-type players. Nikola Wong are picking pops. Bobby and Ron are only there for defense situations. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I saw Ron talking about Ron Boone. No, Ron Harper. That's understandable. Ron Harper's not going to cost you that much per game. Like, Ron Harper is going to cost you like 50-ish MT per game. That's worth it. Bobby Jones is tough even for defensive scenarios. But I mean, I get it. I get having him in there if you need to stop every now and again. Only problem is that when you bring your bench lineup, it's going to bring in Bobby Jones instead of Isaac. But assuming you're used to that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this team. You got guys that can lock people down everywhere. You have Bowen and ML Carr as primary defenders. You've got Harden, who's a really good secondary defender. You got Eddie Jones, a really good secondary defender. You're going to be able to hide Steve Francis and Ja a little bit. Glenn, I'm not as high on Glenn as I am on like a Sadiq Bey, but I mean, if you like Glenn, you like Glenn. Other than that, it's not a bad team. It works. There's no need to upgrade anybody. If it works, it works. Keep a hold of your MT for tomorrow. Okay, any interesting... I like these type of teams. I always like these type of teams. They're like genuinely expensive teams, and then they just got one GG at center. Just run offense through pick and pop with Giant G, and waiting till Friday to replace LaFrance. Rest of the players are there for 3 and D. Yeah, there's again no point buying anybody really until tomorrow, and you've got enough MT to just buy Micah. But you got 2 guys to run your offense. You got Drazen to shoot from everywhere. Again, if clutch time turns out to be great rewards wise, just chuck 3s with Drazen. Nick Batum, Andrei Kirilenko, Wang Zhizhi. That's a really nice starting lineup. And like again, it's not like Wang is that dude at center. He really is. Like, he's just huge. He hits every single shot. He blocks shots. He rebounds really well. Like, he has dominated inside on Kevin Garnett at times, like when I've been playing. On Mikal Bridges, again, a pretty good card. Or sorry, a really good card. You get 2 Hoff Interceptor guys and Jonathan Isaac. I like the team. This is like an 8.5. I like this team. Okay, I need to find a team. We've been 10 minutes, and all of these teams are a decent... Okay, this is interesting. This is an interesting team. Okay, Drazen, Rocco, Isaac, and Porzingis. And then Wang off the bench. Run a 3-2 zone. You're either the damn best, or you're getting destroyed every possession. And I think it's probably the latter. Like, a 3-2 zone literally is, you dribble the ball to the halfway line on the right side of the floor and you dot the left corner and they can't guard it. You dribble the ball to the halfway line on the left side of the floor and you dot the right corner, unless like you're RJ Watts or something. Or unless you're like the 5 people in the world that play an absolutely elite 3-2 zone. Like, Hoff Bullet basically renders that zone useless. But you have 30k. Your starting lineup, I mean, first of all, I don't like Kristaps, but he's objectively fine. Just Marcus Smart for Terry Rozier and your team's fine. Honestly, like, I don't think the team's brilliant, but Marcus Smart for Terry Rozier and his team's more than capable of winning a lot of games. I mean, if it works, it works, but I would reconsider that zone. I would reconsider the 3-2. Okay, come on. Let me have a look. Can we just get one not very good team? There is like all of these teams are these are all teams that are really good, by the way. Like, again, these are just flex squads. I miss the days when people actually had squads that weren't like absolutely god tier squads. But like, it's understandable, because again, people do watch these videos. They know a lot more about squad building now than they did a couple of years ago when we started these videos. But ooh, Giannis at center. This is the first time we've seen this. Okay, Giannis has to be around the center in my opinion. Like, I think that Giannis really has to be around the center. But him, Melo, Purvis short, that's really interesting. And Spreewell. Okay. Like, if you can get T-Mac, he's going to get Hakeem. I would not advise to lock in for Hakeem. I will say that. But, like, surely Drazen's better than Spreewell. And, like, I have Spreewell. Unless he's got, like, range and stuff and he's really good. I'm all on the Drazen hype train. Wang Zhiji's good. Jonathan Isaac's good. Eddie Jones is good. Trae Young, if you know what you're doing with him. You know how to use slasher. He's actually very, very good. Purvis short is... Purvis short is... okay, I guess. Like, again, I still think Drazen belongs somewhere in there. Like, if you have him, you have him. I think who else he probably has in his squad. Like, it's a decent team. It is a more than decent team. But is there any... who's in that... are there any Amethyst players in the Mystic set? No, Eddie Jones is the only good one. It is DeJounte, but like... look, DeJounte versus Trae is preference. And if you're good with Trae, you're good with Trae. Yeah, I still think Drazen over. Drazen over one of Spreewell or Purvis is probably the move. Okay. If you see me skip by your team, it's basically because your team is essentially another team and you can just take the rating from another team. I just don't want to have too many of the exact same. Ooh, I like this. I like to play Melo with the 1, but you're trying Rondo, and he's playing very good. That Rondo was ass. He was ass. Carmelo Anthony at the 1. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? LeBron James the 1 or nothing. It's LeBron a point or nothing. I was the number 1. Like, man, like when I first started making YouTube videos, I would use the most random teams. Like, I remember 2K17, like 2K15, I did it as well. I used like LeBron a point guard. But 2K17, I was the worst. Like, I would never run a point guard. Like, it was, like, I had like 6'7" dudes a point guard. I was running Kristaps a point guard in wagers. Reggie Lewis was my point guard in wagers. Like, I never did. I was the worst. Like, I was the first YouTuber to like normalize running people out of positions. To just say, screw it. Why are we handicapping ourselves by using people in their actual positions? I was the very first person to be like, F this, I'm doing what I want. Okay. The best team, this guy is a time traveler. Lads, can we all just appreciate this Camden guy? Can we all just appreciate the fact that this guy is a full-on time traveler? He's not only gone out with a day 1 squad, which is actually a god tier day 1 squad, if I might add. He's also traveled back to season 1. He's a time traveler, lads. He is a time traveler. George Mikan's badged up. Okay. This is interesting because Mike at the 4. I do actually kind of like Mike at the 4. Also, I'm not that high into Kembe at the 5. I'm just going to say that right now at this stage of the game with the way paint mashing works, but the Kembe's still alright. But again, the Kembe was like 20k, so I was about to say, oh, could you get Dolph? But it's like there's no point. Dolph versus Mikan's is a close battle, but like Mikan's way cheaper. Clyde's really good. Actually, no, that Clyde's not very good. That Clyde, I would get rid of that Clyde. And honestly, Eddie Jones is better than that Clyde. Eddie Jones is way better than that Clyde. The other Clyde, 75th fully badged up, is better. Is better than Eddie Jones, but Eddie Jones is better than that specific Clyde. Marcus Smart and De'Aaron are fine. Harden's fine. Isaac's fine. Josh Smith, I mean, if he can hit with him, he's fine. And Wong is fine. I would just get rid of Clyde and get Eddie Jones like a 7.58 out of 10. Okay, first Steph Curry we've seen. Curry's been kind of rendered useless with the patch. It's a little bit unfortunate, even though I Trae Young with his slasher dribble style, and you can still abuse slasher the exact same way as you could 2 days ago. So if you're good with Trae, you're still going to be good with Trae. Anthony Davis, sell AD. Like, cheaper player like AK. Yeah, AK is better than AD, and I mean Jonathan Isaac is also just better than AD. Like, it's a sad truth, but Jonathan Isaac is just better, straight up better than Anthony Davis. And he's better by a lot. Sell Jaylen Brown and maybe sell AD. There's no Jaylen Brown there, so yeah. Just sell Jaylen Brown, sell Anthony Davis, and you don't even need AK. Unless you want AK to guard Ball and Kevin Durant to play power forward. Like, you're probably going to need to I would get rid of Steph and buy Penny, if I were you. Because I just think Steph is very tough to score with now. Now the players can't burst sideways or backwards, so look, you do you. If Steph's your favorite player, Steph's your favorite player. But I think until people really figure stuff out with this patch, he's kind of patched Steph Curry. Play on next gen, need a backup center. Dude, you have 500k, just get George Mikan. Just get George Mikan. If you don't have Kevin Garnett, just get George Mikan. Like, Wong's insane, just get George Mikan. Like, you've got, your team's perfect, get George Mikan. There's being stingy. Like, if you have 500k and you're not going to spend 40k on the one weak link, that's just being stingy. Like, that's not even something I'd do. Okay, so 19 minutes in. I haven't even played too much FIFA. That Chong card looks really good. Jude Bellingham. I mean, what even formation game? That Nesta is not great. I know he's an icon, but he's not great. And that Chesney card. He will not, that Chesney will not save a ball at all. Okay. So, let me scroll. Let me scroll. So many of the same teams. Okay, this is a nice team. I have 5k to work with. This is my squad. Okay. So, first things first. Now, this is a challenge because you got the O.O. Wilkins, who sucks. Herder's alright. I need to find a way to replace Jamal Murray with 5k MT with someone that's competent. So, Jamal Murray sold. Isaiah Thomas to the bench. Isaiah Thomas. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of point guards that are good because Isaiah Thomas is still a good point guard. I would sell Isaiah Thomas, buy Eric Snow, and buy Eddie Jones. Then there has to be someone better than Dominique. So I would start Marcus Smart at 1, move Eddie Jones to the 2, buy Eric Snow and play him as the point guard at the bench instead of Isaiah Thomas. And that probably gives you, let's just say 25k for Isaiah Thomas. I don't know what price he is. The last time I checked, he was around 25k. Eddie Jones around like 10k. It gives you 15k, 3k. It gives you 12k to replace Dominique Wilkins. So I think who's good for that price? I mean, there are a lot of mediocre, like really mediocre wings. Oh, just get Sadiq Bey. Just pay like the 2k for Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is just better. Sadiq Bey is just way better than Dominique Wilkins. I get it, he's a diamond. Honestly, you probably should have just taken Jokic, but yeah, Sadiq Bey. They're the things that I like. I like the challenge squad builders. Oh man. Like, it's funny, like when I looked at the 2K20 squads, I was like, oh, these were the days. When I look at this squad, I'm like, oh, 2K21. It's just like, just not many good memories from that game. 90% of the time, if you do not have Clay and you have Tracy McGrady, by the way, my suggestion is just to downgrade Tracy McGrady to Clay. And if you're struggling for MT, just put in John. If you're struggling for MT in any situation, literally just get rid of your AK or your Paul George and put in Jonathan Isaac. Get rid of your AK, or get rid of your AK and your Paul George. You got 1 point something million, so there's no point doing that. Or get rid of both of them and put in Jonathan Isaac and Mikal Bridges. Okay, come on. I need one more interesting team. We're like 22 minutes in. We need... Okay, I don't know how much MT you have, but you've got Kevin Garnett. Your entire team, except for Glenn Rice and Tyson... What the hell is this team? Why do you have DeAndre Jordan as your backup center and Wang Zhizhi as one of your last three off the bench? Why do you have Terrence Ross in there and Brandon Ingram? Okay, let's just tear this down. I can fix this. I can fix this team. Okay. I don't even mind Pokashevsky that much. Tyson Chandler needs to go. I don't know how much MT you have. Glenn Rice needs to go. Brandon Ingram needs to go. Terrence Ross needs to go. Pokashevsky probably should go. You should probably get rid of Pokashevsky. So, and honestly, just get, like, Drazen's going to go tomorrow, so I'm going to say get rid of Drazen. So you get rid of Chandler, Rice, Pokashevsky, Terrence Ross, and Ingram. You're probably you got at least 10k to work with. You got at least 10k to work with. So, Mikal Bridges at the 3 off the bench. Move Jonathan Isaacs to your starting power forward. Move Kevin Garnett to your starting center. Try find a way to buy Marcus Smart to start at the point guard instead of Chris Paul. And then choose one of Chris Paul or Mike Conley as your backup point guard. At the 2, if you want someone that does exactly what Glenn Rice did, just get Troy Daniels, because I'm not sure you have the MT to get anyone more expensive. We'll use Wang Zhizhi as your backup center, backup power forward. I mean, if you want to just keep Pokashevsky, you can keep Pokashevsky. I would suggest to use probably Sadiq Bey. Yeah, I would probably suggest that. But if you want, actually, you know what? Keep Pokashevsky. Run Sadiq Bey at small forward, and then you should be able to afford Smart. If you sell Glenn Rice, Alexei Pokashevsky, or if you sell Glenn Rice, Tyson Chandler, Brandon Ingram, Terrence Ross, you should be able to afford Marcus Smart to play point. Just a Troy Daniels, just someone to shoot the ball at the 2 off the bench, Or you can actually no, sorry, Matisse Tybel's better. Matisse Tybel because he plays. You need someone to guard ball. So starting lineup: Marcus Smart, Drazen Petrovic, Carmelo Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, Kevin Garnett. Off your bench, you can run Mike Conley / Chris Paul, whichever one of them you prefer. The last three off the bench should probably be just goals as well. There's no point really wasting a spot on them. Just run a 10-man. One of those guys at 1 off the bench. Matisse Tybel at the 2 off the bench. Sadiq Bey at the 3 off the bench. Pokashevsky, he works. I mean, he works at the 4 because he's got some length. He can kind of shoot it. And then Wang Zhiji at the 5. Like, that team works. Like, you can make that team, and that team's 100. This team sucks. I'm just gonna be completely blunt. This team sucks, but you can make an okay team for around the same price, especially because you've got the level 40. So they're 2 of the best cards in the game. They're both of them are arguably top 10 cards in the game. Okay, that Clyde should be sold. That Clyde should be sold. I mean, you got Payton, so you obviously know what you're doing to an extent anyway. Again, you have to at least be competent to have Payton. Like, there is no reason to have Amari start Amari in over Jonathan Isaac. There's no... Honestly, at small forward, like, that Clyde Drexler is no better than Sadiq Bey. I think Clyde, with, like, the actual badges that the 75th anniversary one can get, can be pretty good as a shooter, but, like, this Clyde is not that much better than Sadiq Bey. Really good 1-2 combo. I kind of like Drazen. Just... because you have no MT either. So, like, literally, just sell your Clyde, get yourself a little bit MT. Like, I don't know, what's that, like 30, 40k MT? And then get a Sadiq Bey in there. Get Jonathan Isaac off the bench. And, like, you can keep mulling if you want. Your centers are fine. Your point guards are fine. You're just sitting on a lot higher MT amounts with a slightly... I mean, with an even level team. Okay. Need one more squad that needs to be fixed. One more that needs to be fixed. And then we'll end that episode. Okay. Quote, I only play for fun. Well, I mean, you're sending in your team to be rated. So, you're getting the full wrath of DBG. Okay, so first of all, it's impressive being able to play this game on a 2010 TV. Like, that is impressive. Secondly, Kyrie Irving? Are we back in week 1 or something? Like, oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like, where is the defense? The best defense... Oh, no, you've Eddie Jones. I was about to say, the best defensive player in your starting lineup is Harden. You've got one player in your starting lineup with clamps. You've got 47 steal Brandon Ingram. Like, Steph Curry's alright. I don't even mind Steph Curry. Walt Frazier can't play offense. Kyrie can't play defense. Donovan Mitchell is a 6'1" guard. Alonzo Mourning is a garbage man. Serge Ibaka, I mean, he's alright. It's not September anymore, but he's alright. Just get Wang Zhiji. Nikola Jokic isn't even original owner. Dude, sell Jokic. Sell Donovan Mitchell. Like, again, if Jokic is like your favorite player in real life and you just enjoy using this team, you don't have to listen to my advice, but at the same time, like, you sent in a team, so you know what I do on this channel, so I'm going to criticize it. Tear it the F down. Steph Curry's not bad, don't get me wrong, he's not bad, he's not worth like 25k. Sell Steph, sell Brandon Ingram, sell Jokic. Those 3, I think Jokic's like 25 as well, like that's like nearly, it's like 55k or something combined for 3 of them. Donovan Mitchell's still like 9-10k. Again, that's like 65k. Scotty's around the same. It's like 75k. Keep Eddie Jones. Keep James Harden. Get rid of that bum, Alonzo Mourning. And you got like 80k to work with. And then get the likes of Marcus Smart. Get the likes of... I mean, you can use Walt if you really want to. Eddie Jones works the 2. Get yourself a Mikal Bridges. Get yourself an Isaac. And then, I mean, Serge is fine at center. Serge is fine as backup center to Wang Zhiji. And, I mean, if you complete Amari, you complete Amari. You can just use him if you want. So, again, if you don't want to listen to my advice, that's perfectly fine. If you have a lot of fun with your team and you think you'll have more fun with this team than a meta team, that is perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, you sent in a team to be rated. You know what I do on this channel, so I'm going to do what I do. So, yeah, that is going to be it. Unless we scroll and see one more lineup that... I'm interested in rating. This look, I don't think that one's very similar to one of the other lineups. I'm trying to think because a lot of, oh man, I love 2K20. Like 2K20 was terrible, but there were a lot of enjoyable times in 20. I think it was because it was like the only thing at the start, like during the first lockdown, that kind of kept us all sane. These are just really good budget squads. With no MT, there's not many suggestions I can give to any of these. So yeah, I think everyone, if you have a similar team to any ones I've rated, you should be okay. And I think I've rated at least one of every type of I don't necessarily think that this statement is true. If you're asking who could build like a better, this is always a hard one because everyone plays a different play style. Like if you bait lanes and you play like that, like obviously Ty's opinion has more weight than mine. If you play the game at a slower pace, my opinion has more weight than Ty's. Like it depends on how you play the game. Like it really does. It really does. And like there's no right or wrong answer. And because in 2K20 we agreed a lot because we played the same style. In 2K22, like we don't play, in 2K21, 22, we don't even play anywhere similar. So that's why there's a lot of disagreements. So yeah. Anyway, that is the video, lads. Don't worry, I did not forget about this series. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.